Snow is the big word in this morning's video. Whether you saw it last night, you saw it sometime yesterday, you're waking up to it this morning, or you're going to see it sometime later this morning or this afternoon or maybe even tonight. We're here to speak on it. We're going to get very detailed on the timeline of it, how much your area could see, and we're going to give you a state-by-state breakdown. So, for example, if you just want to hear about Indiana, Ohio, there'll be timestamps up for that. If you just want to hear about Tennessee, there'll be a timestamp up for that, etc. After that, we'll speak on how cold it could get tonight into tomorrow morning, and then we'll round the video off. If you guys have not subscribed, certainly consider doing that. Like the video if you like it, and if anybody has anything I can pray about or pray over, please put it in the comments below. Let's get rocking and rolling this morning. So let's start off by looking at what is going on right now here at the current radar. If you're waking up to snow, I'm happy for you folks. I live here in central South Carolina, born and raised in the South, and I'm a huge snow lover. People say all the time, dude, you got to move up north, and I totally agree, but I'm a little bit jealous of you guys. But anyways, more so happy for you folks who are snow lovers. Not everybody certainly is, but waking up to some snow flying around here in Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, even some flurries, light snow now breaking out down here in Kentucky, even showing some stuff, you know, as far west as like southeast Missouri, maybe could sneak into the boot of Missouri. Let me know what you're seeing out here just in any of these areas. And we have some snow showing up as far south as Middle Tennessee. Not sure if this is actually reaching the ground quite yet. I did see a snow report earlier this morning in Northeast Tennessee, but regardless, this big chunk of energy you see right here, this is going to swing all the way down into the southern Alps. Now, just to show you guys what's going on a little bit further north, we had that epic snow band, that lake effect snow band that hit Chicago several hours ago last night. It did produce thunder snow, blizzard conditions. Let me know what you're seeing in the Chicago area, what you saw. I would love to, read the stories, but you guys got blasted last night. And listen, Model Guidance showed that very well. We got some lake effect snow streamers up here in the UP coming off all the Great Lakes. We got some snow drifting around. Even Buffalo saw a period of heavy snow yesterday. It was beautiful seeing these videos. And the cold front is working in, so this is mainly rain. But just to knock it back down here, all this energy is going to swing down here, and we're going to certainly have a festive looking Monday afternoon, maybe as far south as northern Alabama, northern Georgia. I'm very excited to see this stuff. And yes, there is an outside chance some of this action could break free east of the mountains, and we could get some flurry action as far southeast as maybe North Carolina, northern South Carolina. We'll speak on that as we go. So let's move past this. We've had some changes as far as the advisories and warnings, really the advisories. The newest thing here is we have winter weather advisories as far south as the Cumberland Plateau now. We've had winter storm warnings along the Smokies and higher elevations in the highlands of West Virginia, but we got a lot of winter weather advisories now across Kentucky, several counties in southern Indiana. They've dropped south here in Indiana. They include Indianapolis for what we're going to see this morning into early this afternoon. And you can't see it, but these counties right in here, tucked in between these winter weather advisories, are actually lake effect snow warnings. It never shows up on Pivotal Weather for whatever reason. And we have some winter weather advisories in areas of the Cumberland Plateau and the Adirondacks. So all this dark purple down here, these are freeze warnings, hard freeze on the way for tonight. So let's move past this. And this is where we're going to do that state-by-state breakdown. If you're tuning in like Mitch, I don't want to hear about Wisconsin. No offense to my friends here in Wisconsin. There's timestamps up. You don't have to listen to it, etc. So let's talk about Wisconsin first, and we'll make our way throughout the entire area that could see snow. So Wisconsin, starting off around mid-morning. Listen, I think the main event is done for you guys, but we could see some flurries, light snow drifting around. And we could have some energy that swings down tonight. Eau Claire, Duluth, Ironwood, down to La Crosse, Stevens Point. There could be a band of snow that works through, maybe provides an additional coating. Cold air is beginning to leave the region, but still cold enough for some snow. This is 4 a.m. Timeline up here, if I forget to mention it. This is 6 a.m., and then we're getting into tomorrow morning. So we're going to wake up again to some more snow flying around. Not quite as cold, but still cold enough for snow. Madison, some flakes flying around. Even down here in Janesville, could get some snow drifting around here. And this could just provide an additional inch or less of snow, and then it'll be done. You can see actually some green showing up on your map tomorrow afternoon as warm air begins to take over. And then we'll look at, so we'll cover Wisconsin and Michigan in this timestamp. And then what about the UP? More lake effect snow will dominate today. This is getting into the noon time frame, Marquette, getting snow surrounding areas. And We'll start taking into this afternoon. These streamers just will continue. We get into this evening to the overnight hours. Things will let up a little bit, and then we'll have some northern stream energy that flies through. So we could wake up to some more additional flurries and snow flying around tomorrow morning. And then it looks like we're about done, but we could get some additional energy that flies through. We just get more warm air associated with it, so you're probably not going to see as much snow. But all my folks up here in the UP, let me know how much snow you've seen. Tag me in pictures on X and even Facebook. I'm more active on X, guys. It's just an easier social media platform to use, but I know not everybody uses social media, so it's all good. But starting it off about mid-morning here in Lower Michigan, what could you see? Well, it switches up as far as the directional here with this lake effect snow band off Lake Michigan. So Muskegon could get some snow, even Grand Rapids down to Kalamazoo, Traverse City. You guys will start to get a little bit more snow. This is this afternoon, this evening. Getting into the late evening hours, we could get some heavy snow right along the eastern shorelines of Lake Michigan to western Lower Michigan here. Okay, this is around 10 p.m. This is getting closer to midnight, and then it will kind of detach. And then we certainly watch what that energy will do as it moves out of Wisconsin into Michigan tomorrow afternoon. So this is 3 p.m. We got flurries, festive flurries is what I like to call it, flying around Lower Michigan. And then I think we're about done. Additional energy could move in, but certainly some more warmer air begins to dominate the atmosphere. Wisconsin, this is that additional band that can move through later tonight. Inch or less of snow. And, could get some additional snowfall totals and extreme southeast Wisconsin. And have to look at a different way here because they haven't updated the graphics here in UP and Michigan. But Marquette, another 4 inches of snow is possible. But we could get another 6, 8 inches of snow once you kind of get away from the immediate shoreline. This area right here, any communities in this area could get several more inches of snow. And then we knock it down to Lower Michigan, Traverse City, 2 to 3 inches. Manistee, 4 to 8 inches. And I was getting updates all day yesterday. People were correcting me. It was in a respectful way, by the way. Definitely not taking a shot at anybody trying to correct me with, sounding out these names of these towns and stuff like that. But I do want to say I appreciate it. Just have not had a chance to really read through the comments since really Friday. It's been a very busy, and I've been a little under the weather this weekend, so it's been hard to keep up with everything. But this is how much additional snow you guys are expecting between now and about 7 p.m. Wednesday. And then we knock it on down here, and this is between now and about this was updated this morning. So this is between now and about 1 a.m. tonight. So another 4 to 6 inches of snow forecast in Muskegon, Grand Rapids, an inch or less. Kalamazoo, another 1 to 2 inches. St. Joseph, about 4 inches of snow. And maybe Bad Axe, another 1 to 2 inches of snow. Now we knock it on down to Illinois, Indiana. The main event looks to be done. We could get some additional... it's still snowing like crazy in south of Chicago, Gary, this morning. It is cranking. I showed you the radar. These areas are getting hit hard still. And this will continue for a time period, but I do think the position of this lake effect snow band begins to switch. I do want to mention we'll continue to deal with some snow showers this morning throughout central, southern Indiana. This is 10 a.m. This is lunchtime. It looks like that energy pivots away. But then we could get some more lake effect snow in South Bend. Any communities in northern Indiana, this is around 4 p.m. this afternoon. And even into Fort Wayne, Muncie, you guys start to get some more snow flying around for dinner time tonight. It's going to look very festive out here. I know it's only November 10th, but listen, your boy was out there putting up Christmas lights in 80-degree weather here in central South Carolina yesterday. I need to move, guys. But anyways, no offense against South Carolina, but snow is my favorite weather to talk about. But we get into about midnight tonight, still getting some lake effect snow bands kind of coming off Lake Michigan and northern and northeast areas of Indiana. And then we could have this thin area of flurries that we're waking up to tomorrow morning. But, and this could drop an additional coating in northern Indiana tomorrow afternoon, but wouldn't expect much from that. But additional snowfall totals. Now, I will say this was updated around 3:15. Let's see if we got a new update. We do. Awesome. So I'm going to be kind of trying to catch the latest update. So an additional 1 to 3 inches of snow is possible in Chicago. If you live in this anywhere, guys, but if you live in this entire area, let me know how much snow you've got. The band was wild last night, but Knox 1 to 5. Benton Harbor, a lot of people were telling me how to say this name, but I haven't had a chance to read the comments. I was just getting updates on my phone. I was just kind of skimming through it. But thank you guys for helping me. I'll get the name of this right. Trust me. I just haven't had time to spend time kind of sounding it out to myself. Benton Harbor 2 to 5, South Bend 3 to 8. Juliet maybe another inch or less. The band I was looking at this morning was really cranking through this area when I woke up around 5 something this morning. But a little bit down the road here, let's get an updated graphic for this also, and another inch or less of snow as possible here in eastern areas of Illinois. And let's see if we get an updated graphic for this, and we do not. That stinks. So this was updated around 3 a.m. this morning, so some of this has already failed, but this is between now and about 1 a.m. Tuesday. So maybe additional snow totals could happen after this also, but this is northern Indiana. And then this is Indianapolis. Let's see if we got an updated graphic for this. Come on. The audience is waiting. We do. So this was updated literally about 30 minutes ago. Inch or less of snow is possible in Indianapolis. Some of these areas in the kind of darker shade of blue could get maybe around a straight inch of snow. Let me know what you're seeing in this area. But Ohio, what could you see today? We started off around 8 a.m. and just scattered snows across areas of southern Ohio, and we start to get to lunchtime, early afternoon, and this is when it could start to get cranking here in Cleveland, Akron, Youngstown, Canton. This is around this afternoon, mid-afternoon, kind of some lake-enhanced stuff off Lake Erie gets going, and this is when some accumulating snow will start to get going up here. I think it begins to really taper off in southern Ohio, but the main show really begins up here as some lake effect snow bands begin to pivot off of Lake Erie. I almost said Lake Michigan. But we could get some additional snow flurries, snow showers later on this evening across some, southern, southwestern areas of Ohio. But we continue to make it into the early morning hours of tomorrow, still getting snow kind of east and northeast of Cleveland, and just flurries flying around that I think we'll wake up to even tomorrow morning across Ohio as there's still more cold air around. And then we could have additional activity tomorrow afternoon that swings through the leftovers behind this trough. Toledo, Bowling Green could get some additional snow. Even Cleveland. I mean, this is tomorrow evening, 7 p.m. We could get some flurries flying around in this area. So, and then a lot more warm air begins to move in. But still, even late tomorrow night, shows some action flying through. There's still energy in the atmosphere moving through. This is the forecast between now and about 1 a.m. Wednesday. Cleveland, about an inch or two of snow just south of Cleveland. You guys could get 2 to 3 inches of snow, but everybody across Ohio has an opportunity to at least make the ground white, which is nice for early November standards, really. So I have to show it a different way because a lot of the graphics are not updated in Ohio, but this is how much is forecast. Let's see if there has been some changes with this. Nah, there really hasn't. So all right, let's knock it down to Kentucky and Tennessee. I know I got a lot of people tuning in from this area. So starting off this morning, we got the snow showers drifting around, snow flurries, but then the main energy is going to pivot through. So this is around 11 a.m., getting closer to lunchtime. Look at the snow flying around in Lexington down to Nashville, Bowling Green, as far west as Clarksville, Cookeville, the Cumberland Plateau, Pikeville over there. I mean, I said Lexington, Somerset. And then look at the snow showers down in Knoxville, Gatlinburg, Johnson City, the Tri-Cities region of Tennessee. Please tag me and stuff in Eastern Tennessee. Anybody in Kentucky. But I'm telling you, it is going to be wild seeing snow flying around in all these areas in the middle of the afternoon on November 10th. I mean, October was just 10 days ago. But it's going to happen. Look at this. I mean, 3 p.m., 4 p.m., the blue snow, obviously. And just depending on who can get consistent amounts of bandings of snow and just really true burst of snow, that means everything with if you can get maybe a coating, a half an inch or an inch. And remember, a half an inch of snow will make the ground white. And then things will likely taper off as we start to get, as we start to get into this evening, and things will begin to relax, and we're pretty much done. But this afternoon is going to be a nice festive afternoon, and that's not what I meant to pull up. And this is Kentucky. Let's see if we have an updated graphic in this region. I'm going to probably try to update all these as I go, and it's good that I'm doing so because they are bringing us updates here. But you can see it's very splotchy. Everybody in the light green, an inch or less of snow. But you see these areas in blue, very splotchy, I know. You could get closer to an inch, okay? Now let's look at Eastern Kentucky. Once again, let's see if we got a new updated graphic. We do not, so that kind of stinks. But really, Eastern Kentucky, if you live in this area, the hills, listen, anywhere from, a coating to an inch or two of snow is possible. Some of these favored higher terrain regions where that snow really grips up against, you could certainly squeeze out 1 to 2 inches of snow. So very festive afternoon on the way for Eastern Kentucky. Must be nice. But I'm not jealous at all, I promise. But Middle Tennessee, let's see if we got a new graphic. I do apologize I keep doing this. I just want you guys to get the latest and greatest information. Definitely going to, I would say we're probably going to get some flurries here in Nashville, Murfreesboro, but accumulations, I doubt it. But once you get east of this area, closer to the Cumberland Plateau, Crossville, Cookeville, all these areas right here, Jamestown could get an inch or less of snow. And even down here into, northern Alabama, northern Georgia, which we'll talk about here in a second. And let's update this graphic. See what we got here. And, yep, got a new graphic. Gatlinburg, about an inch or less. The Tennessee Valley, folks, the entire Tennessee Valley, inch or less of snow. Cumberland Plateau, someone's going to get an inch of snow. Okay, this higher, more favored, elevated climate region will get more. And then if you're right up against the western spine of the higher elevations of Tennessee, you're probably going to get a little bit of boost. Gatlinburg, Greenville, Johnson City, the Tri-Cities region. Just let me know what you see. I know I got a lot of people tuning in from this area. I love this area of Eastern Tennessee. So let me know what you see. Smoky's going to get rocked with several inches of snow. This is just an area that certainly could see some surprises, and I'll be watching like crazy today. Now, I want to show some love to northern Alabama. Listen, as we start to get into this afternoon, you're not going to see much, but I think we're going to get some flurries as far south as northern Alabama. I've been saying this for a while. Huntsville, maybe even Florence, but extreme northeast Alabama. I would not even be surprised if we squeeze out some flurries as far south as Birmingham, even though it's not showing up on this. And listen, I'm not going to roll out a dusting of snow in those, higher terrain areas in northeast Alabama. So northern Georgia, and we'll cover South Carolina in this too. And we're going to get to about midday, not expecting, I know you're thinking, why are we talking about South Carolina, Georgia? Well, there's the possibility in northern Georgia that we're going to get some light snow. And this is getting into 4 p.m. Look at these flurries, areas of light snow getting all the way down into the mountains of northern Georgia. Even into the mountains of South Carolina. Greenville, can you get some flurries later on this evening? Look at this area in blue between Columbia and Rock Hill. Look at these areas of showers. Gainesville, Georgia, could you see it? I think it's possible. Aggressive energy digging down. And look at these flurries here in Rock Hill around 11 p.m. tonight. I think it's very possible. And then look at this stuff kind of in the PD of South Carolina. This is 1 a.m. tonight, and then we start to get into tomorrow, and then we're done with any flurry opportunity. Any kind of accumulations, never say never, right? But if you're going to get any, it's going to be in northern Georgia or the higher elevations of South Carolina. So, what about North Carolina and Virginia? All right, big area that could see snow in the higher elevations, and a surprise is possible east of the mountains, but we get into about 12 p.m., and look at southwestern Virginia, getting some of that snow. Asheville, Waynesville, Maggie Valley will start to get some snow flying around this afternoon if they're not already. And then we get into 6 p.m. This is 7 p.m., 8 p.m. Roanoke could get some flurries. And this is when it gets kind of tricky. Of course, it's going to be snowing in the favored northwest flow areas here in the mountains of North Carolina and Tennessee. Asheville, it's always tough to get the snow in the northwest flow stuff, but it happens. But some snow could slip into the area. But look at these flurries showing up in Fayetteville. Okay, and this is 10 p.m. Look at this area of light snow, some flurries that breaks loose throughout the triad, central areas of North Carolina. And even as we're getting into 11 p.m., this is Charlotte, Greensboro, up to Danville. Check it out. You got this thin area of snow making its way through the area. I think it's very possible. 11 p.m., energy slips east of the Appalachian Mountains, and it could reflect in the form of some flurries, light snow. And this banding feature kind of drifts throughout North Carolina, even extends all the way down to the PD of South Carolina, some flurries near Jacksonville. Why couldn't this be possible? I think it's very possible. Raleigh, this is 2 a.m. Get your floodlight ready, get your flashlight. Got to put your hand in front of that light. You guys know how it is in the South. And then we start to get into 2, 3 a.m. And look, I mean, just some scattered snows across northeast North Carolina, southeast Virginia, Virginia Beach. And, I mean, we could wake up tomorrow morning to some snow flying around the northern Outer Banks, Virginia Beach, Norfolk. Heavy snow? I don't know. And I'm not even going to rule out a dusting. I wouldn't rule it out. Why should we? So I don't have my cursor to draw on this ready, but just watch out in the entire North Carolina, Virginia. I wouldn't say watch out. I mean, I would say, heck, it would be a nice surprise, but I think some flurries are possible, some areas of light snow possible throughout North Carolina, Virginia, even outside the mountains later tonight. How much snow? Great graphic pulled up from the National Weather Service in Greenville, Spartanburg that covers this area nice and crisp. I think Waynesville, Maggie Valley could get as much as, I would say Maggie Valley, maybe an inch or less of snow. Mount Mitchell, 3 to 4. Higher terrain in the Smokies, 8 to 12 inches of snow is forecast. And Roan Mountain, 4 to 6. Beach Mountain, 3 to 4 inches of snow. So nice, hefty snow event on the way for these areas. You look up the road to the mountains of Virginia, Boone, about an inch or two of snow. Wytheville, inch or less. But check it out. They're going for 0.3 of an inch of snow. Let's update this graphic. I just noticed this. 0.3 of an inch of snow in Greensboro to Reidsville. This is interesting. Just caught on to this. Wow. Gonna have to post that on social media. West Virginia, what you looking at? Well, it's already starting to snow in these areas now. This is just going to continue. You'll just get rounds of heavy snow. And Charleston, I mean, this is 5 p.m. this afternoon, this evening. And look at this round of heavy snow moving in. And this will continue, and it's not done after that. We get into the later night hours, 1 a.m., 2 a.m. after midnight, and we could even get another round of snow that might move in later tomorrow. But definitely just going to, I mean, look, this is, let's stop it. Let's back it up here. Like, this is tomorrow evening, getting into late tomorrow night. Kind of one last hoorah, kind of late tomorrow night as some heavy snow. Temperatures will be a lot more marginal, but it could be a heavy wet snow that moves into northern areas of West Virginia, western Maryland tomorrow. So we'll watch out for that. A long duration event. Can some snow slip sort of east of the mountains of West Virginia and Maryland? I think it's possible. This run as we're getting into this evening in the D.C., Baltimore area doesn't show much, but I could see some flurries slipping into this area. How much snow between now and 1 a.m. Wednesday? This is the graphic. Snowshoe, 6 inches. Summersville, 6 to 7 inches of snow. I hope the kids didn't hear that. 2 to 3 inches of snow in Beckley. 1 to 2 inches of snow in Charleston. Ripley, Spencer, 2 to 3 inches of snow. So, yeah. Don't have a graphic for Charleston, West Virginia. That stinks. I mean, for the northern areas of West Virginia up here. But here, it shows a little bit of it down here. But PA, this is what you're looking at. Just some flurries drifting around this morning, and then we start to get into later this afternoon. This is when I think that lake effect snow band will really set up near Erie. But even Grove City, like 10 p.m., look, you guys are getting hit by some heavy snow. Then that lake effect snow band begins to hit Erie, Jamestown. We get just some flurries drifting around and some areas of light snow drifting around across PA as we're waking up tomorrow morning. And then this is when we have an opportunity to get a heavy lake effect snow band pivoting down into Erie, especially just inland, against the immediate shoreline. Kind of warm, but still, I think, cold enough for snow. But, I mean, this is 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. We got just a festive look across PA. Flurries drifting around, Binghamton even getting it, State College. It's getting into tomorrow afternoon. Still just stuff flying around. And even as we're getting into late tomorrow night, it's 11 p.m. Tuesday, still some light snow drifting around, areas of even moderate snow still hanging around here. I mean, look down here to Morgantown, south of Pittsburgh. So just festive over the next 48 to 72 hours. Snow between now and about 7 a.m. Thursday, Erie 3 inches, but just inland of Erie could get anywhere from 6 to 8 inches of snow. Pittsburgh, inch or less, but just the northwest corner of PA, a good bit of snow. And really anywhere in PA could get some flurries at least. Now, looking at New York State, we're going to look at the NAM here. We're going to start to pick up some snow here in Buffalo. But the cold is going to try to catch up with any kind of lingering moisture with this cold front. And we could get a period of heavy snow even in western Mass today. You can see it here in western areas of Vermont. Watch out, Robin. it's gonna be kind of weird weather this afternoon, this evening. Rain, snow, wintry mix, but it could switch to this could be some heavy wet snow here. Albany, up the New York Valley here, and then it could just switch to some very heavy snow before the cold Arctic air follows in Burlington up into the Adirondacks. This could be some heavy wet snow later this evening. And then sort of the lake effect energy kicks in. That kind of peters out over there, and then we get into the overnight hours, and this is when we can get some aggressive lake effect snow banding, Buffalo, Rochester, Syracuse, Watertown, even some stuff firing off the Finger Lakes into the Binghamton area. And we get into tomorrow morning, we get into tomorrow afternoon, and the entire interior New England area could get just flakes flying around. And listen, these can make it all the way down to New York City, Waterbury, southern New England. I think it's very possible as we're getting into tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, as cold Arctic air is really wrapping through. And then even like into late tomorrow night, into Wednesday morning, more additional energy will swing through and provide another boost of snow. More marginal air to deal with, but certainly still cold enough, kind of away from the valley areas for some snow. But you can see some more green beginning to mix in. But I mean, it just keeps going, guys. I mean, I really think it's going to be a high. I mean, look at this. This is all the way out to 1 p.m. Wednesday. Another area of snow begins to move in. So a very festive, at least start to middle portion of this work week. And snowfall between now and this is just, let's see if we got an updated graph here. This is just between now and 1 p.m. Tuesday. A good bit of snow in these areas. Pause the screen if you need to. Snowfall between now and about 7 a.m. Thursday. This extends out a lot further. This is how much snow you can get. But listen, some of these areas, I really think some of these areas into the Valley of New York, and I think you guys could overachieve later this evening. We'll see what happens with that. And then on up the road, this is what you could see between now and 7 a.m. 7 a.m. Thursday. But like I said, just be mindful that it's going to be a high energy week across New England, and we could get some flurries, light snow bands into southern New England, as far south as even New York City, Long Island. But I mean, I just think that a lot of energy continues to pivot over into interior New England. So temperatures, this is potential low temperatures tomorrow morning. Very chilly. I mean, I'm talking about the upper teens for northern Alabama, across Tennessee. I mean, deep into sub-freezing temperatures into northern areas of Florida, including the Panhandle. Just very cold temperature, hard freeze expected. I just wanted to kind of spend some time on this. And then, things begin to moderate pretty fast into Wednesday morning, but still a very cold morning. And then by the time we're on a Thursday, just about everybody's getting above freezing. Any kind of snow will begin to melt. But I will say, I'll wrap the video up with this. I'm watching some things this is going to be the last really detailed update on this snow for everybody, but I'm seeing some things. I'm seeing a signal for a pretty aggressive storm system in about 5 to 6 days, really into this weekend. And we're really going to begin to break down the second half of November, getting into early December, probably the rest of the week. So if anybody's like, man, we've missed the daily forecast, can we talk about something outside of this? We are. We're about to dive deep. I think it's time to really hunker down, guys, and to figure out what late November and early December has in store, because there is a lot of things that, as a snow lover, cold weather fan lover, that I'm excited to really talk about. So appreciate y'all. God bless y'all. Have a wonderful day, and we'll talk again soon.